Hello, my dear students and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 11 of a 25-part series of tutorials on creating presentations using Microsoft PowerPoint. In this tutorial, we are going to look at how to use hyperlinks and action buttons in a presentation. My name is Memaji M, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. In Microsoft PowerPoint, a hyperlink is a connection from a slide to another slide, a custom show, a web page, or a file. The hyperlink itself can be text or an object such as a picture, a graph, a shape, or a wand art. An action button is a ready-made button that you can insert into a presentation and define hyperlinks for. If the link is to another slide, the destination slide is displayed in the PowerPoint presentation. If the link is to a web page, network location, or different type of file, the destination page or file is displayed in the appropriate application or in a web browser. In PowerPoint, hyperlinks become active when you run your presentation and not when you are creating it. When you point to a hyperlink, the pointer becomes a hand, indicating that it is something you can click. Text that represents a hyperlink is displayed underlined and in a color that coordinates with your color scheme. The pictures, shapes, and other object hyperlinks have no additional formatting. You can add action settings such as sound or highlighting to emphasize hyperlinks. Use action buttons when you want to include buttons with commonly understood symbols from going to the next, previous, first, and last slides. PowerPoint also has action buttons for playing movies or sounds. Action buttons are most commonly used for self-running presentations, for example, at a booth or kiosk. When you create a hyperlink to something other than a slide, its destination is encoded as a URL, that is Uniform Resource Locator. When you create a hyperlink to a page or a file on a local file system, the hyperlink destination is represented by the path to the file. You can thus create hyperlinks as follows. To create a hyperlink to a custom show in the current presentation, you select the text or object that you want to represent the hyperlink for. Then you click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. From the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, under Link to, you click on Place in this document. In the list, you select the custom show you want to go to. Then you click the Show and Return checkbox. Finally, you click OK. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to link a slide to a custom show within the presentation by the title Introduction to Emily Swap. If I want to create a hyperlink to a custom show in Introduction to Emily Swap presentation, I can proceed as follows. For example, if I want to create a link to a custom show, when I click on the word Introduction, I should select that text first as follows. After selecting the text that I want to use to link to my custom show, I can then proceed and click on Start or on Insert menu Under Insert menu, I select Hyperlink. So let me click on Hyperlink. Then, under the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, I have to click on Place in this document. So let me click on Place in this document, and then select a place in this document. I have to scroll and go to Custom Shows, and then I select Custom Show 1. This means that before you create a hyperlink to a custom show, you should have created a custom show first. We are going to learn on how to create custom shows in our subsequent presentations or tutorials. From there, you click on Show and Return checkbox. So you tick it like that, and then you click OK. Let us now run this presentation and click on the introduction, and then we see whether it is going to take us to our custom show. Remember, once you have set any text to become a hyperlink to a certain item, the color for that link changes, or for that text changes. As you can see, the color for introduction has changed, and it has become underlined, meaning it has become a hyperlink. I can then proceed and run this presentation, and then we click on introduction to see whether it is going to take us to our custom show. So to run it, I'm going to click on slideshow menu, and then click from beginning. So I'm going to run my show by clicking on my screen. Then here it is. If you point on this text, you can see that it has turned to become like a pointing hand, meaning it is a link. If I click on this link, let me click. You can see it has opened for us a custom show, which is composed of this slide and that slide. If I click again, I should be taken back to my presentation. You can see. Let me play again. Once the custom show is over, we are taken back to our slide. So that's how you create a link to a custom show in a presentation. We can also create a hyperlink to another slide in the current presentation. So to create a hyperlink to another slide in the current presentation, you select the text or object that you want to represent the hyperlink, and then click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. From there, you click on Insert, or from the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, and the link to, you click on Place in this document. Then you click on Link to a location in the current presentation. Then in the list, you select the slide you want to go to. And finally, you click OK. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to link a slide to another slide within the presentation by the title Introduction to Emily Swap. If you want to create a link to our slides or to a single slide in our presentation, of course, just as we have done for creating a link to a custom show, we need to select the text or object that we wanted to use to take us to the slide that we are interested with or in during our presentation. So I want to create a link to a slide by clicking on the word ML swap. So what I need to do is to select my text. So let me select this text, and then I have to click on Insert menu, and then click on Hyperlink, this button here. And then you select on the place in this document. And to select a place in this document, you select the slide that you want to go to. I want to select the slide number 4. So I'm going to select on this slide, ML swaps other jobs. So you click on the slide, and then you click on OK. You can see my text has become a link because the color has changed and it has become underlined. So to see whether this link is working, I can click on slideshow menu, and then I can click from beginning. If I'm running my show, and then this text is displayed, Introduction to ML Swap, and I want people or my audience to see ML Swap's other jobs, I can click on this link. You can see the mouse pointer changes to a pointing hand when I point on a text that is acting as a link. So if I want to go to that slide, I can click on the word ML Swap. Let me click it. You can see it has taken us to slide number 4. Once you are taken to that slide, you have to proceed. When you click, it takes you to the next slide in the series. My dear students and the rest of the learners, you can see the difference between creating a link to a slide and a link to a slideshow. For a link to a slideshow, once the slideshow is over, you are taken back to where you were in the presentation. But if you click on a link to a slide, then you can only be able to continue with the next slide that is following the slide you are linked to, unless you have an action button to take you back to where you are. So you have to continue with the presentation. And you can see. So that's how we create a link to a specific slide in our presentation. We can also create a hyperlink to a specific slide in another presentation. How do we do it? To create a hyperlink to a specific slide in another presentation, we select the text or object you want to represent the hyperlink. Then click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. And link to, you click Existing File or Web Page. From there, you locate and select the presentation that contains the slide you want to link to. Then click Bookmark and select the title of the slide you want. Then you click OK. So the following is a demonstration on how to link a slide in the current presentation by the title Introduction to ML Swap to another slide in another presentation. If, for example, I have a presentation with a slide containing the meaning of the acronym ML Swap, and I want to go to 8 during my current presentation, what I need is to select a text or object that will act as a link to my slide. So, for example, in this presentation, I want to use this want ML swap. This one to act as a link to my slide in the presentation that has the acronym. So what I'll do is I'm going to select my text like that. And then I'm going to click on Insert menu and then click Hyperlink. From the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, I'm going to click on Existing File or Web Page. Then I'm going to scroll to the folder that contains my presentation. Now, that presentation, or the meaning of the acronym ML swap, is in the presentation by the title, meaning of ML swap, this one. So I'm going to click on it. And then you click on bookmark to allow you to select the specific slide that you want to link it to. So let me click on bookmark. Then under select place in document, you can see that document or presentation has two slides. It has meaning of ML swap and definition of ML swap. So let me choose the slide by the title, definition of ML swap. And then you click OK. And finally, you close the Insert Hyperlink dialog box by clicking on OK. You can see my text has become a hyperlink. Let's see if we are going to be taken to that slide when we are running this show. So let me click on slideshow and then I'll click from current slide. So if you are making a presentation and you want to take your audience to the acronym ML swap, you just click on this link. So let me point at it, and then I click. So let me click. You can see that after clicking, it has taken me to another slide in another presentation, definition of ML swap. And you can see ML swap stands for E, enlightening, minds, E, empowering, L, lives, E, in, S, singing, W or we, writing, A, acting, P, preaching, ML swap. Once you click on this slide, we expect it to be taken back to our presentation. So let me click. Here we are. You can see that we have been taken back to our presentation and more so to the slide that we were in before we were taken to the slide in the new presentation or in another presentation where we have been able to learn about the meaning of the acronym ML swap. So that's how you create a link to a slide in another presentation. We can also create an email hyperlink. So to create an email hyperlink that, for example, somebody can click and be taken to an email, for example, to write a message, what you need to do is to ensure that you have some text in your presentation that you can be able to use, or an object that you can be able to use to act as a link to your email. So to link an object or text in your presentation to an email, you select that text or object that you want to represent a hyperlink, and then click Insert menu and select Hyperlink. Under Link to, you click Email Address. Then either type the email address you want in the email address box or select an email address in the recently used email addresses box. In the subject box, you type the subject of the email message. Then you click OK. Note, for this process to work, you must have an email program installed on the computer that the presentation is being viewed on. So if you click on a link and it happens that the computer you're using for your presentation does not have an already installed email program, you may not be taken to the specific email from where you can do the composing of your message. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to link a slide in the current presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap to an email. Note, if this presentation is running on this computer and it happens that this computer does not have an email program already installed, then we may not be taken to the specific email account, just as I have said. Let's proceed and see. So in this presentation, let's create a link on our last slide. That is slide number 6. So if we are on slide number 6, and you want, for example, to have our audience create an email, we can do it as follows. On this slide, we have our contacts, and there's this message here. To contact us through our email, click here. So I can link this text to an email. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my text as follows. I'll select my text, and then I'm going to click on Insert menu, and then click Hyperlink. Then under the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, I'm going to click on Email Address. Link to email address. You can see there is text to display, which is comments that I've already selected. Then I can type my email here under email address, and then under subject, I can type my subject. For example, comments or complaints and compliments. Then if I don't want to type the email afresh, I can select one of the options under recently used email addresses. So let me click on email address and type my email address. So my email address is or will be Julimenga at live.com. That's an example of an email. And then under subject, you type your subject. For example, complaints or compliments. And then you click OK. So you can see that my text has become a link. Let's run this show, and then we click on comments, and then we see whether we shall be taken to our email that we have already created. So I'm going to click on slideshow, and then from current slide, you can see my comment has become an email, and you can see there's this link or there's this text that appears when I point to my link, and it is very clear. It is mailed to julimenga@live.com. Subject, complaints, and compliments. So let me click on it. Now, what does this message mean? It simply means that my computer is not connected to a specific email. In other words, the email software or application is not installed in my computer. That is why, after clicking on that link, we have not been taken to a specific email, but we have been taken to a browser, like this browser here. And you have seen that under this browser, which is our default browser, we can be able to proceed by clicking, for example, on Gmail, and then we can create our message from there by clicking on Compose, and then, of course, we can type our text. Now, if this computer was linked or had an already pre-installed email software, would be taken directly to our email software or to our email app, from where we will type our message and then proceed. So that's how you create a link to an email. We can also create a hyperlink to a file. How do we create a hyperlink to a file? If you want to create a hyperlink to a file, you select the text or object you want to represent the hyperlink. Then click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. Under Link to, you click Existing File. Then navigate the file you want and click it. Then you click OK. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to create a link to a file in the computer from the current presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So while in our presentation, that is this presentation, we can decide to link, for example, this text here to a document that can give us more information about MLSwap. So what we are going to do is, just as we have done for the others, you select the text first. Like this text here, which reads, click here for more information about MLSwap. So I can select this text MLSwap, and then I click on Insert menu, then click on Hyperlink. From there, I can select or click on Existing File or a web page and a link to. Then I can browse in my computer for the file that I want to link to. So let me browse on my computer. I can click on this button, like App 1 folder, that way. Then I can, for example, open personal materials. I can double click it. Then I go to the folder called YouTube content. I double click. Remember, I'm browsing for my file. Then I can click or open MLSwap ICT videos. So I can double click on this folder. Then I can double click on applications, because my document that I want to go to is under that folder, and then I can open the subfolder called Creating Presentations. From here, I can open this folder called Presentation Materials. And then I can open this subfolder here called MLSwap Details. Let me open it. Now, I want to link my presentation to this document called Introduction to MLSwap printout. So I'll click on it and then click OK. you can see that my text has become a hyperlink. Now, when we are running this presentation and I want to open that document should be open. And then when I close it, I should be taken back to this presentation. So let me run this show and then we see what will happen. So you click on slideshow and then from current slide. So during my presentation, if I reach this message here and I want to take my audience to that document, I'll click here. Click here for more information about MLSwap. So let me click on it. And then you can see we are being told that Microsoft Office has identified a potential security concern. Do you want to continue? Yes. Good. You can see that our document has opened. And this document contains adequate information about MLSwap and it reads introduction to MLSwap. So you read through the document. You read through the document as you scroll until you are done with the document, or maybe you may want the audience to read a specific part of this document. Once you are through with reading or going through the document that you have linked to, you close that document by clicking on its close button. And you can see we have been taken back to our presentation, and that's how you create a link to a document in your presentation. You can also create a hyperlink to a web page. How do you create a hyperlink to a web page? You select the text or object you want to represent the hyperlink. Then click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. Under Link to, you click Web Page. Click on Browse the Web button and navigate to the web page of choice and click it. Then you click OK. So the following is a demonstration on how to create a link to a web page from the current presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So while in this document or in this presentation, we can create some links to these channels. For example, we can create a hyperlink to take us to the YouTube channel by the title MLSwap ICT. We can also create another link to the website or web page for the YouTube channel MLSwap Live Skills, and we can also do the same for MLSwap Glorious Ministry. So how do we proceed? What you do is you have to select the object that you want to link to your web page, and also I'm going to click on the object MLSwap ICT, which I'm going to link to my YouTube channel. I'll also do the same for MLSwap Life Skills object and MLSwap Glorious Ministry object, and then we are going to see how we proceed. So let us create links to our YouTube channels. So to do that, I'm going to click on the first object, MLSwap ICT, and then I'm going to click on Insert, and then Hyperlink. From there, I'm going to select the option for existing file or web page, link to existing file or web page. And then I'm going to click on this button for browse the web. So let me click it. And then you wait. Remember, you must be connected to the internet. So let me type the link, or let me type the text for the channel I want to go to. I want to search for MLSwap ICT. So I'll type MLSwap ICT and click on it. Here we are. So we have this text or this link to our channel. So you click on the link. Once you click on that link, you can see that you have been taken to the channel. And that is our home page. So once you are here, it's always good, for example, to copy the link. So let me copy this link. So you select it, and then you can click on copy so that you can paste it on our link under the insert hyperlink. And then you can close the web page or website. Now, under the address, you can right click below here and then paste the link. And then click OK. Let's also do the same for MLSwap Live Skills. So we are going to click on the object MLSwap Live Skills, click on Insert menu, then click Hyperlink. Under Link to, we are going to click on Existing File or Web Page, and then we click on Browse the Web button. And then under Search, you search the way you do normally on a browser. So I want to search for MLSwap Live Skills. You can see already we are being given a suggestion. So you can just click it. So here is our links. So we have several links here, but our interest is this YouTube channel, MLSwap Live Skills. So you can click on the link, and MLSwap Live Skills YouTube channel is going to open. There we go. So this is our channel that we are going to be linking to. If you browse below here, you can see we also have the links to other YouTube channels. That is MLSwap ICT YouTube channel and MLSwap Live Skills or MLSwap Glorious Ministry channel. So I'm going to select this text to MLSwap Live Skills. I'm going to select this email or this URL, the Universal Resource Locator. So I'll select on copy, or I'll click on copy. And then I can close this web page or website, and then I can paste my address here. And then I can click OK. Let's do the same for MLSwap Glorious Ministry YouTube channel. So you select it, then click on Insert menu, click Hyperlink, and then click on Existing File or Web Page. I want to go to the web, so I'll click on Browse the Web. Then under my web browser, and remember when you are doing this, you must be connected to the internet. So I'll type MLSwap Glorious Ministry. And then I can click on Search button. Here we go. You can see we have MLSwap Glorious Ministry YouTube channel link. So I can click on it. There we go. The link has taken us to the YouTube channel called Emily Swap Glorious Ministry. I can select this URL address by clicking on the address bar, and then I right-click and click on the copy. I can then close this window, and then I can paste my URL address and address here, and click OK. So we have been able to create 3 links to 3 web pages or websites, which are in this case, the 3 YouTube channels by Emily Swap. Let's see if those channels will open while running this presentation. So if you are making this presentation to your audience and you want to go to each of these websites or web pages, this is what you do. You click on slideshow. Let me choose from current slide. So under this slide, if I point on Emily Swap ICT, you can see it is now a hyperlink. If you point on Emily Swap Life Skills, you can also see it's a link. And Emily Swap Glorious Ministry object is now a link. If I want to go to Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel, I'll click on that object. So let me click on it. Once you click, you wait. Remember, those links will work if you are connected to the YouTube channel or you are connected to the internet. And you can see that link has taken us to Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel. And you can see we have various objects there, including if I click on the videos, I'll be able to see all the videos for learning ICT from this channel. Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel is rich with computer or ICT content. So you can just continue and listen even to your videos. For example, if I click on this video, you can listen and watch. Let's see. You can see. So you can link to a web page like a YouTube channel, like Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel, and continue to perform your activities, listen to the videos, and do other activities. Then once you are done, you close that web page. So you do that by clicking on close. So let me close Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel. You can see we have been taken back to our slide or our presentation. If I want to go to Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel, you just point on that link, click on it, and wait for the web page or website to open. In this case, it's Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel. You can see we have been taken to Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel. You can see that once you've been taken to your website or web page, you can continue to listen to the content, read whatever is there, play videos. For example, if it's a YouTube channel, for example, I can open this video on toxic relationships to run away from. Let me click on it. Remember, I'm on the web page for Emily Swap Life Skills, and in this case, it's a YouTube channel. So you can perform various activities under that channel, and once you're back, or once you are done, you can go back to the presentation. You can see that you can play your videos, perform other activities on your web page. And once you are done, you can click on close button. Let me click on MLSwap Glorious Ministry link. Remember, the links to a web page or a website will only work if you are connected to the internet. So here we are. We have been taken to MLSwap Glorious Ministry YouTube channel. You can even click on the videos there, the videos link, and perform your activities. For example, I want to listen to this dance here. So I can click, for example, on that video, and then you can listen. And once you are done, you can go back to your presentation by clicking on the close button. Let's hear. Remember, you must be connected to the internet. You can even maximize your screen. And you can continue performing your activities in the channel as you want. And you can enjoy yourself in your YouTube channel or in your web page as you want. So while on the web page or the website of your choice, you can perform the activities. You can read the text, you can play videos and do other activities within that web page that you have linked your presentation to. And then once you are done, you can close on that page by clicking on the close button. My dear students and the rest of the learners, if you want to hear more, including like this video that I have played, you can always visit MLSwap Glorious Ministry YouTube channel, and then you can listen. So let me click on close, and then you can see we have been taken back to our presentation. So that's how you create links to web pages or websites. And once you are there, you perform your activities. You do the demos and perform any other activity that you want the audience to see or to know. You can also create a hyperlink to a new file. To create a hyperlink to a new file, you select the text or object you want to represent the hyperlink. Then click on Insert menu and select Hyperlink. And a link to, click Create New Document. Type the name of the new file. To change the path of the new document, you can click on Change. Select either Edit the new document later or Edit the new document now. And then you click OK. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to create a link to a new file from the current presentation by the title Introduction to Emily Swap. I want to go to this slide, that is our last slide here. There's this text here that reads, click here to create a new document. So I can select this text, then click on Insert menu, and then click Hyperlink. Under the Insert Hyperlink dialog box, I can click on Link to create new document. And then you can see we have name of new document here. So you can, for example, type the name as Introduction to MEM.jm. So that is the title of my document. And then you can decide to change the folder in which your document will be stored, or you can retain the path. So let me retain the path. Then when to edit? Edit the new document later or edit the new document now? I can click on Edit New Document Now and click OK. Once you do that, you can see that already our new document has opened. You can see the title is Introduction to MEM.jm. So you can click here and even type your document or edit your document, like memes, memoir, memes, memoir. And you can continue the way you want. Once you are done, you click on Save. And then you close the document that way. So you can see our text has become a link. If I click on slideshow and then from current slide, and then I click here to create a new document, it should take me to the document we have created. Let us click and see. Of course, because it's a link, we are being given an alert or a warning concerning the link. Because we trust our link or our document, we can click on Yes. And you can see my document has opened. Then you can continue, and once done, you go back to your presentation. And that's how you create a link to a document, and more so to a new document, a link to create a new document. And when you create it, you can be able to open that document by clicking on its link, just as you have seen. Now, other than use of hyperlinks, you can also insert what we call action buttons on a single slide or on several slides. So remember, an action button is a button that when you click, you can perform a certain action. For example, if you are making a presentation and you're on a certain slide and you want it to be taken back to the previous slide, you can insert an action button, which when you click, can take you to the previous slide, either on a single slide, or you can do it on several slides. So if you want to insert an action button, or a button that when you click, it can perform a certain action, like taking you to the previous slide, you proceed as follows. You select the slide you want to place a button on, then draw an object or insert an image to be used to perform the required action. Click on the object, then click on Insert menu and select Action button. Click on Hyperlink to, then scroll the list of available actions and click on your choice. For example, next slide, first slide, etc. And then you click OK. So the following is a demonstration on how to insert and use an action button on a single slide in the current presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So if, for example, we want to be being taken back to our previous slide, once we reach our last slide, like once we're in slide number 6, you can decide to insert an object that can be using to click to be taken back. So let me delete this object here. So if, for example, we wanted to click or to create a link to be taking you back to the previous slide, that is, when you click on that object, the action that will be performed is to be taken back to the previous slide. You can proceed as follows. So you can click on Insert menu and then point on Objects. Use an object or a symbol that has some meaning. For example, to be taken back, I can click on left arrow, and then I can draw my object like there, and then I can add the text like go to previous slide. Remember, this one will take us to the previous slide. So what do I need to do? I need to attach an action to this object, or call it button. How do I attach the action? To attach the action here, I'll click on Insert menu, then Action. So I'll click on Action. Under the action settings, I'll click on Hyperlink to radio button. And then I'll click on this button here, or on this drop-down list, or drop-down arrow. And then I'll select my action. So which action do I want? Do I want to be taken to the next slide, previous slide, first slide, last slide, or want to be taken to, for example, slide number 5? Now, why don't I use one that can take me to go to the first slide, so that when I click on it, I can restart my presentation. So let me click on first slide. Then I can add some music to it. So I can click on play sound, and I can choose the sound I want. For example, I can choose applause. And then I can click on OK. Now, is this text right? Go to previous slide? No. Why don't I adjust it? So let me change it so that it is go to the first slide. Go to the beginning. So I can edit this text and have it read as go to the beginning. That way. Let me run my slide, or let me run my show and see what will happen. So click on slideshow, then from current slide. As you can see, if I point on this button, it is now a link. If you are making the presentation and you reach this slide and you want to be taken to the first slide, the action is when I click, the first slide should open. So I can click on to the beginning. You have seen, you have heard the sound, and you have been taken to the first slide. So you continue with the presentation as usual. Continue the presentation up to the last slide. If you don't want the slide to end or the presentation to end, and you want to be taken back, you click on go the beginning. Yes, and you continue that way. So as long as you click on go to the beginning, the action that will be being taken by this button is to be taken to the first slide. Now, I don't want to be taken back again, so I can click next, and the slides or the presentation comes to an end. So that's how you create an action button in your slideshow. And you can see that action button is on a single slide. It's good to note that if you are using one slide master, you can also insert an action button on the master, and the button will be available throughout the presentation. In other words, if you want to insert an action button that will appear on every slide, you need to do that under the slide master. So, for example, you may want to have a button which when you click, it will always take you back if you want to be taken back once on the previous slides. So that button from back should appear on each and every slide. So if you are using one slide master, you can insert an action button on the master, and the button is available through the presentation. If you are using multiple slide masters, such as when you have applied more than one design template to your presentation, you must insert the action button on each master. So how do you do that? You click on the View menu and select Slide Master. From the Slide Master's title slides thumbnails, click on a Slide Master into which to insert the object to perform the intended action. Draw an object in the selected Slide Master, just as we have done for the single slide. Then select the inserted object. Click on Insert menu and select Action button. From the dialog box, click on Hyperlink to Radio button, Hyperlink to Radio button, and select an action from the listed actions. Click OK to accept the proposed hyperlink. Finally, click on Close Master View on the Master View toolbar. My dear students and the rest of the learners, what we mean here is simply perform the same action like the one we have performed to add an action, but in this case, you add the button on the slide master so that it appears across your entire slides. And if you have more than one slide master, like we have in our presentation, you need to do the addition of the button on all the slide masters, as we are going to see. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to insert and use an action button on every slide in the current presentation by the title Introduction to ML Swap. So if you wanted to add an action button on each and every slide in this tutorial or in this presentation, we need to do as follows. You click on the View menu and then click on Slide Master. While on the Slide Master, you can scroll. Or while on the Slide Master view, you can scroll to see your slide masters. So in this presentation, I have this slide master number 1, and you also have slide master number 2. So if, for example, you want to add an action button, you can see I already have this button here. Let me remove it so that you can see how we are going to do it. Let me also go to the second slide master. Let me remove it. So if, for example, we want to have our slide master have the action button, You just click on Insert menu, and then let me insert a symbol. I'll still use back. I can draw it on my slide master that way. And then I can add the text back, meaning it is supposed to be taking me back to the previous slide. Then from there, you add an action. How do you add the action? You click on the button, click on Insert menu, click on Action, click Hyperlink to. Now, this button, when I click on it, the action that should be performed is take me back to the previous slide. So I'll select previous slide and click OK. You can see that button has already been applied to all the other slides that have that slide master. If I click on slide master and click close master view, you can see that if I click on first slide, there's no that action button, but it is there in the second slide, third slide, fourth slide, fifth slide, and the sixth slide. So what does that mean? It means that the first slide has a different title master. So if I want to add that button on this slide master too, or on this slide, I need to click again on the view menu, then click on slide master. And then I can add that action button. So what I'll do, I'll just click on this action button and copy it, because the action that I wanted to perform is the same. And then I can browse, go to my first slide master, and I can paste my action button here. That way. So if I click on close master view, you can see that still my action button is not there. Where is it? If I wanted to appear on the title master, I need to click on view menu again, then slide master. And then I have to add it here on this slide master. So let me right click here and click on paste. Let me add my action button here. Let's now see. If I click on close master view, you can see that now our button has been applied. But to which back is it supposed to take us? Here, this is the first slide. Let's run this slideshow and see how our action button will look like. So from the beginning, you can see that back is in each and every slide. You can see that. So let me go back to the first slide. If I click on back, you can see there's no action that the button is making. Why? We are already on the first slide. Let's go to the second slide. If I click on back, it should take us to the first slide. The action is previous slide. Let me click on back. You can see it has taken us the first slide. What about if I go to slide number 3? I click on back. It should take us to the second slide. You can see. And if I click again this back, it will take us to the first slide. Let's move on. If we go to slide number 5, if I click on back, it is taking me to slide number 4. If I click forward again, and I click on this button here, from back, it should take me to the previous slide. What about if I click on go to the beginning? The action is it has taken us to the first slide. So that's how we use action buttons in our slide or in our presentation. Sometimes we may want the action button to also play a song. Why don't we have an action to play a song? How do you do that? Let's add it in this presentation. If I want to have an action button, like to play a song, is it possible? For example, let's select this title of the song here, Mukristo Silie. And then I click on Insert menu and then Action. And then I click on Hyperlink to. And then I scroll here. You can see we have next slide, previous slide, last slide, custom show, URL, other PowerPoint presentation, other file. Let me click on other file. And then, for example, I can browse for some songs. Let me go to presentation materials. And then I can have Emily Swap songs. Mukristo Usilie. Let me select Mukristo Usilie song. And then click OK. Let's see what will happen. So you click on OK. If I run the show, if I am running the show, and then I click on slideshow, then from current slide, if I click on this button, the song should play. Let's see. Then I'll click yes. Would you like to open the file? Okay. You can hear that you can have action buttons also to play a song. Let's listen a little bit to the song. So if you are making a presentation and, for example, you want your audience to listen to a song, you can have an action button for playing a song. Let's listen. My dear students and the rest of the learners, you can search for the song like Mukristo Usilie, which you can access from the online music stores to hear more. So that's how you create action buttons in your presentation, including to play some songs. You can listen more by searching for that song and other songs by Emily Swap gospel artist. You can search for Mukristo Usilie by Emily Swap from your browser, and you're going to come across that song, including other songs. Once you are done, of course, you can close on that button. So you can create more links or more action buttons to perform other activities in your presentation. Now, after you have added hyperlinks, you can always also remove a hyperlink. How do you remove an hyperlink? To remove an hyperlink, but not the existing object that represents it, you right-click on the text or object that represents the hyperlink. Then on the shortcut menu, click Remove Hyperlink. To remove a hyperlink and the text or object that represents it, you select the object or all of the text and press Delete. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to remove a hyperlink from the current presentation by the title Introduction to MLSwap. So if, for example, we want to remove this hyperlink, the hyperlink 4, click here to create a new document. You just need to select the text or object that contains that link, then right-click on it, and then click on Remove Hyperlink. Then we click on Remove Hyperlink. You can see that that link has been removed and the text is no longer looking as a link. If I click on slideshow and click from current slide, you can see that even if you point on that text, it is no longer a link. And that's how you remove a hyperlink, including action buttons or actions from a slideshow. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 11. You can continue to part 12 of 25-part series in which we are going to learn about working with tables. Congratulations for learning part 11 of 25 on using hyperlinks and action buttons in creating presentations series. You can access the rest of the parts in the series, as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on MLSwap ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write it to us through the email mlswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and God bless.